What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Infinite Fusion and you guys might be wondering what's up with the layout. Yeah, to up my production apparently. I watched some other people's Infinite Fusion videos, like damn, I need a better layout for my videos. So you know what, I upgraded. I got the premier balls and everything. Anyways, today's challenge on Pokemon Infinite Fusion, we're gonna try to beat Pokemon Infinite Fusion on the hardest difficulty on modern mode. Since no one in the comments has corrected me why I'm playing on regular mode, I'm supposed to play on modern mode because that's the mode that everyone plays on. And I'm just by myself playing on regular mode. Anyways, we have to play on modern mode, hardest difficulty, and we only use dragons only. We can actually customize our starter Pokemon to give ourselves a dragon Pokemon. We'll get into that in a little bit, but the premise of the video is set. You guys know the rules. I can't use items inside a battle, and I had to play on set mode. It's pretty difficult, and as always, all my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for leaving me a nickname in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon, just drop in the comments, and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while is that down here, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Let's get into the challenge video itself. So to begin off, we get ourselves a Dratini as our first dragon Pokemon, as our starter Pokemon. Not really balanced if I get myself a Dratini or like some kind of fully evolved dragon Pokemon, but you'd be surprised. Dratini only has really Wrap as a move, Wrap and Leer and Thunder Wave, so I don't really have too many options. I beat my rival surprisingly, but outside of that, we're just kind of stuck. Every single fight is a drag because I have to use Wrap as a move. I can't use healing items in between or even during the turns to even like get the XP, so it's a pain. So 20 minutes in, I'm barely at level 6. It's not looking good for us, guys, and I'm just repeating this fight because I know I could beat the routes. Eventually I got lucky and I went into the Pokemart to look what's in the Pokemart, see if there's anything for us, see if there's potions so we could heal in between battles. We actually get ourselves a new Pokemon by a gift, and it's a Pyukumuku, which isn't the greatest Pokemon, but I could combine it with my Dratini, and this thing is not that great. It's a water dragon type, so it's actually hard to kill. But it also has a new move for us called Bide. Bide is a move where it stores up all the damage you take in 2 turns and then release it. I think it's double back. It's basically a miracle and counter, but you have to charge it up. So it's actually really good. As you see, we could finally start doing damage. We start rolling through a bunch of people now and get our XP. I mean, we still don't beat our rival in Route 22, but we get enough XP where we can keep moving on. And eventually we make ourselves past the forest, which we've been stuck on, into Pewter City after 33 minutes. And eventually we could train out right outside Pewter City in this trainer area, and we're eventually gonna get Dragon Rage at level 15. We still can't hurt fairy type Pokemon, but we can make our way into the first gym in the game where we face off against Brock. Brock is the very first gym leader. He's gonna start the battle off against us using a Shroomiard, which not even a rock type Pokemon, but we take a Dragon Rage, one shot it easily. His next Pokemon will be a Stee Jr., which is Steelix and Mime Jr., and I can't really kill this thing with Dragon Rage since it's fairy type because of Mime Jr., but I can bite it up, take all the Gyro Balls, and eventually knock them out with 2 different bites. So we're able to just survive barely, and we're able to get our first gym badge in the game. 45, which close to an hour in, and we got our first gym badge after all that. And now we can go out and get ourselves a Trap Pinch as well, which we could have gone earlier, but we couldn't really get past the trainers until we get Dragon Rage. Trap Pinch is not a dragon type technically, but it evolves into dragon type, so I'm gonna allow it. I go into Mount Moon. We clear through Mount Moon because our team is finally half more than just Dratini and Wrap. From there, we can go into Cerulean City, and we're gonna face off against Misty next. Misty is gonna be the second gym leader in the game. I don't think they have any, a Glarogue, which is Glaceon and Tyrogue, I believe. So we're gonna start the battle with my Dratini Pyukumuku. 2 Dragon Rage would knock him out, which is nice. And then her next Pokemon is actually kind of scary. It's a Manras, which is a Lapras and Mantine. We're able to Thunder Wave it, switch out into my Trap Pinch, and hopefully Hail just stops eventually, as I'm able to Dragon Rage 3 times against him. And I live a Wing Attack. I'm able to get our second gym badge in the game just from that, and we beat Misty. We go into Diglett's Cave next. We also unfuse our Pyukumuku and fuse in our Dragonair with a Gyarados. And then we're going to catch our Gibble in a Diglett's Cave, which is nice. From there, we're going to fuse it in with a Mamoswine. So my Mamoswine and Gabite are mixed combined. Then from there, we can move on and face off against Lieutenant Surge next. Lieutenant Surge is the 3rd gym leader in the game. He's going to start the battle off against us using a Nose Key. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Vibrava, which has Earthquake already because of the Trap Pinch. And we're able to 2-shot down on the Nose Key. And then from there, he's going to switch out into his Houndlade, which I'm able to Earthquake 2-shot him as he's unable to knock me out with a Bite. Oh, I take it back. He has quick attack, so he actually is able to knock me out. I still do have my gap swine, so I'm able to Dragon Rage and knock him out. And from there, his final opponent will be a Fletch Chop, which is a Machop and Fletchinder, which goes down to 2 dual chops, and I'm able to knock down Lieutenant Surge. From there, we go back into Diglett's Cave. We actually get ourselves a Beldum, which took us a lot of different tries. As you can see, this was a bad attempt, so I had to restart the game. Finally catch ourselves a Beldum in Diglett's Cave. This cave is doing wonders for us. We're also going to fuse it with my Vibrava, which is actually insane. It's a Steel and Dragon type now, and it has Levitate, which is amazing for us. It blocks out its weakness really well. And then from there, we're also going to catch ourselves a Bagon. Of course, Diglett's Cave have everything for us, so we're going to have ourselves a Bagon as well. And from here, we're able to catch ourselves a bunch of new Pokemon. We caught ourselves a Sandile, but unfortunately, Sandile doesn't really work with my team, so I couldn't use Moxie Sandile. We also accidentally found ourselves our first shiny Pokemon in Infinite Fusion, which is kind of funny. We find ourselves a shiny Gligar. Unironically, doesn't look the best here because I'm a Fusion, and you can see why it looks kind of ugly. But from there, we also realized we're in the wrong grass, and we caught ourselves a Dino. Dino is the Pokemon we've been looking at for the longest time. We're also going to go into Rock Tunnel, clear the Rock Tunnel. We're going to head into Celadon Sewers, and then evolve our Flygon and Metagross. It doesn't look like the picture. The picture definitely looks better. The sprite looks better. I'm not too sure where the sprite went wrong, but that is definitely not the sprite. I couldn't find it on the sprite generator, so I guess we have to live with this sprite. Really like the sprite, don't like the sprite I got. But from there, we can face off against Giovanni, clear through him pretty easily, and then face off against Erika next. Erika's going to be the 4th gym leader in the game. We're starting to battle off against her using my Metagong. Metagon's able to face off against her Typhler, which is a Typhlosion and Scyther. It's not a flying type, so I'm able to Earthquake it. 2 Earthquakes would knock him out, which is really nice. And then her next Pokemon will be a Galvantron. I'm able to go for an Earthquake again. I believe it's going to be Electric type. No, it's Bug type. So no one's doing any sorts of damage. I go for Meteor Mashes against him now, and surprisingly, I do a lot of damage. I'm able to 2-shot him and knock out the Galvantron. And then her final opponent will be a Buttergeist, which I'm able to survive a Shadow Ball and then eventually knock her out with a Meteor Mash. I didn't even... Oh, I got attack boost. I got a bunch of attack boosts in this entire run with Meteor Mash, which was really nice. Not to spoil anything, but I don't think I missed a single Meteor Mash, so it's basically free. From there, I was just soaking in how great it was to have a Metagong. Metagong is just so fun to use. Like, it's not weak to anything. It survives any move, basically, and, like, it resists a lot of things. Like, this Band Slash, I'm able to easily knock out. It's supposed to be a boss Pokemon of this area. From there, we're also going to get ourselves a Horsey, which is going to be evolved into a Kingdra. We're going to fuse that with our Zuelius and our Hydreigon to make a new combination. I forgot to press record for a little, like, 45 minutes while I got myself an Axew and a Haxorus, as we're going to face off against Koga next. We actually beat Koga in the recording, but I have to restart. This is why you always save before the gym fights, so just in case you forgot to record, you can restart the battle. So we're going to face off against Koga. We're going to start the battle off against him using my newly evolved Garswine. Not against his Omteria, against his Renewiclus Zoroark, which didn't change his name at all. Nice job, Illusion. From there, he's going to switch out to his Weavile, which is a Weavile and Talonflame. Looks kind of cool. Looks like an actual eagle. Maybe it's a 2-shot him with Ice Shard, as you can see. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. Bad rolls. I'd get knocked out, but I can switch out into my Metagong. Let's go for a Dragonite. It gets Dragonite and Meteor Mash. Broken Pokemon. He's going to switch out into his Haunchvor. Maybe to Meteor Mash and knock him out. Oh my god, 1 HP does not knock him out. I take it back. He's going to switch out into his actual Omtera, which I'm able to go for a bunch of Dragon Rush. Eventually knock him down to low HP, but Bullet Punch will finish him off. And he switches back into his Haunchvor, which I'm able to knock out. And pretty simple. We get our 5th gym match in the game. From there, we actually go out and catch us a Mawile, so we can get a Pokemon to actually combine with our Haxorus. Now, I didn't really calculate in that this Mawile will not Mega Evolve ever, and also it doesn't get huge power, so I completely wasted this my entire time. So I'm not going to actually switch out the sprite because I'm lazy. I couldn't think of any other Pokemon. I was not creative enough after all my other attempts at fusion. From there, we also evolve our Dragonite into this Dragados. Yeah, I think it's Dragados. I think I used this before. Dragados. It looks pretty cool. From there, we can go into Silph and look at Garswine is just so ugly looking, but it's kind of fun to use. I can't lie. Garswine is kind of fun to use. From there, we're also going to face off against Silph. We're going to face off against a rival. He's pretty easy. And also face off against Giovanni, which he's also easy because we have a double battle fight with our rival. And from there, we can face off against Sabrina. Sabrina is the 6th gym leader in the game. She's not any specific typing at all. She's gonna start the battle off against us using a Sylvie Ocean. Oh my god. So I start the battle off against her using my Garswine, which is able to go for okay, never mind. Earthquake to knock him out in one shot. Her next opponent will be a Mimikyu, which is I almost said Pyukumuku, Mimikyu and Marowak. Honestly, there should be a level cap. It one-shots me because I'm a little higher level, as you see. It really should be a level cap. Either way, that's the only gripe I have with this game. Either way, this game is amazing. I will switch out to my Medagon, which is able to Meter Mash and knock out the Mimikyu. Her next opponent will be a Driftle, which I'm able to go for a Meter Mash. Almost knocks him out, but he's gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp. And then I just try to counteract it by going for Dragon Dances and then Meter Mash again. Eventually, I am able to knock out the Driftle. And then her final opponent will be a really cool Pokemon, a Clefix, which is Clefable and Steelix. It's going to knock out my Medagon, which, you know what, I allow it because it's cool looking. I switch out into my Dragados, which is able to go for 3 Aqua Tails to knock him out. And the battle's pretty easy, yeah. So we cleared through Sabrina, and now we're going to move on into Cinnabar Island, which this guy's floating. Nice, he walks on water. From there, we're going to go out into Blaine's gym, and Blaine's gym, I don't know any of this. Sometimes I start trying to answer the questions correctly. It doesn't work out for me either. And also, I realized my Kingdraw Zoeli's combination does not look good at all. It does not look good, and it does not function too well. The best combination I have was my Garswine, which keeps Dragon and Ground, and also my Medagon, which is completely broken in my opinion. Honestly, this Gliscor Salamence thing was pretty underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. But from there, after roasting my Pokemon, I'm gonna go out and face off against Blaine next. Blaine is gonna be the fire type gym leader in the game. Actually, I take it back. It's not a fire type. He starts with a Klingferig, which is, I mean, I go out to my Garswine to knock it out. Just knock out this nonsense. One-shot it. Of course it doesn't. I'm going to use up all the full restores and then again knock him out with an Earthquake. His next opponent will be a Xano, which I made to go for 2 crunches to knock out. His next opponent after that will be an Allosaur, which is a really ugly Alakazam and Venusaur combination. I go out to my Salascore, which is able to go for Acrobatics. Actually, Acrobatics on this thing is really cool. Really boosted up. I got Swords Dance as well. I Swords Dance immediately against Token Nucleus. I'm able to go for an Acrobatics. 2 Acrobatics will knock him out as I get the 7th Gym Badge in the game. From there, we're going to go out into Mount Ember. We're going to clear through all the Team Rocket members. I don't know why the dungeons are actually way weaker than the actual bosses in the dungeon. I feel like the level tuning could be changed there, but we're going to face off against the Zamokuno next. And you know how this goes. We're able to just... Actually, our Pokemon always outspeed for some reason, so we always get at least a hit off as we're able to chip down each of the heads. Eventually, we knock out the Zamokuno on our first attempt as well. And yeah. Things are looking pretty easy for us as we're going to face off against Giovanni next. Giovanni is the 8th gym leader in the game, and our Hydreigon finally evolves as we're going to face off against Giovanni. It was his Kekgon, which is Kecleon and Flygon. I start the battle off against him using my, obviously, Garswine. Is able to go for a Dragon Rush. Nope, he misses and flinch every single turn, so that's great. So my Garswine goes down. I have to go out to something really quick now. I go out to my Dragados, which is able to go for a Dragon Dance, and then Ice Fang. It's a Persian the whole time. Persian the whole time, but eventually I am able to finally land Dragon Rush to knock him out. His next Pokemon will be a Kukan? I don't know. He knocks out my Dragados, which is kind of annoying, but I go out into my Medagon. Medagon's able to go for a Meter Mash. Doesn't knock, but he knocks him down to low HP, which allows me to go for Dragon Dance and then Meter Mash once again. Get another attack boost and then Dragon Rush to knock him out. His next opponent will be a Poryler. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, I can't lie, but eventually I am able to land a Meter Mash to crit him and knock him out in one shot. His next opponent will be his actual Kekgon, which I'm able to go for a Meter Mash and one shots as well. And this thing's just rolling. His final opponent will be a Smeargar, which I one shot and knock out. Giovanni goes down as we move on to face off against our rival next. Our rival is, you know, in the same spot in Route 22 that we actually struggled with a long time ago at the start of the game. Now we actually just breeze through him pretty easy. So, you know, look at his team now and then come back when we face off as the champion, because his team is way different. From there, we can go into Victory Road and clear through Victory Road. This puzzle isn't too difficult. The trainers aren't too difficult, so no complaints here. As we can face off against the Elite Four next, you might be thinking I might be a little high level. No, I'm actually the perfect level for this Elite Four. You'll see why. We're going to do our last fine tunings by getting some more moves on our Pokemon, and then we're going to face off against the Elite Four. Now, our first attempt against the Elite Four did not go too well. We got destroyed by this Gyarados, which is Mimikyu and Gyarados. Just Moxie sweeps us, so we have to restart the battle. We're going to face off against Lorelei first. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Garswine. Earthquake to knock out the Politoed and Polion thing, and then her next Pokemon will be a Swamp Ray. Earthquake again, because it's obviously an electric type still. Eventually I am able to knock him out, which is nice. Doesn't have any repercussions. As to my PP going down, that's about it. And then her next Pokemon will be a Kingdrio, which is Dugtrio and Kingdra in the rain. Very fast Pokemon. I go out to my Dragados because I think this thing can handle it. I go for a Dragon Dance and then go for a Dragon Rush against him. Lucky enough, I survived 3 Dropex and live with 1 HP just to do that. And then her next Pokemon will be a Gyaraku, which the thing that swept me last time, I'm able to do a lot of damage to it. Get its Moxie Race, which I don't like. I go out to my Metagon next. Metagon's able to go for a Bullet Punch luckily and knock him out. And then her next Pokemon will be a Spirit Mewtwo. Pyukumuku comes back as a Spirit Tomb for us. Luckily enough, I go for a bunch of Dragon Dances as it goes for counters. Eventually, I outplay the counters, but it has Inwards Out, which eventually does knock me out as well. So my Metagon goes down, and then his next Pokemon will be a Milotina. It's going to be a Milotic and Giratina. Lucky enough, this thing wasn't a threat at all, as I'm able to two-shot it as it goes for an Aura Sphere against my Salad Score. 2 Dragon Claws will knock him out as we're able to beat down Lorelei. Move on and face off against Bruno next. Bruno is going to be the second Elite Four member. He's going to start the battle off against us using a Tyrannoflame. This thing is scary looking. I go out to my Haxwile, which gets a Swords Dance off and probably a Sucker Punch. It doesn't really do too much. Nope. Oh no, it gets a Dragon Claw and a Sucker Punch to knock him out. So I take it back actually. So I'm able to knock out the Tyrannoflame, and then from there he can switch out into his Octostar, which is able to knock me out, but gets a Moody too. A Moody is a very scary ability which can boost a bunch of like random stats. I go out to my Kingdrion, which is able to Dragon Pulse him down and knock him out without any like serious boosts. And then from there he's going to switch out into his Armatotops, which I'm able to get a Surf off, and surprisingly he's a Bug type, so I got the wrong typing. I go out to my Metagon next. Metagon is going for Meteor Mash against the Crater Ray, which is able to knock him out and get attack boost. I tell you, I do not miss Meteor Mashes. I do miss Dragon Rushes though, as you see. I missed that, and I died to Hammer Arm, and that's when I found out that I'm weak to fighting moves. I went the entire game without finding out that I'm weak to fighting moves until then. But I switch out to my Dragados after that. He switches out into his Armatotops. He's going to go for a superpower as I knock him out with an Aqua Tail. And his final Pokemon will be a Probodon, which is Probopass and also Groudon. So I go for an Aqua Tail. I survive a Fire Blast. Okay, all these legendaries are garbage, as I'm able to two-shot him and knock him out. From there, we're going to face off against Agatha next. Agatha is going to start the battle off against us using a Clefairy, which is Clefable and Roserade. I go out into my Metagon, which is unfortunately gonna miss his first Meteor Mash against the Clefairy, and then he switches out for no reason, so I land the Meteor Mash. I don't know why Agatha just did that, but we're able to knock out Agatha. Actually, we don't. We take advantage of the situation because it's stuck using Sucker Punches, so I go out and just use a bunch of Dragon Dance, and then eventually Meteor Mash to knock out the Clefairy. It has Focus Sash. Eventually, I'm able to Bullet Punch to knock him out. Meteor Mash to knock out the Dust Plume, which is kind of funny looking. One shot the Shadowbok. One shot again the Umzing. And then from there, the Crowrose goes down to a Dragon Rush, and then finally her Mo goes down to a Dragon Rush as well, as we're able to clear through Agatha in probably the easiest fashion. From there, we're going to face off against Lance next, and Lance cooked us for a good 20 minutes, I think. We couldn't get past this amazing looking against his Aegimens, Salaman's Aegislash. I wish I thought of that. I could have got that. There's a gift Pokemon, Honedge, that you could get, and it could have been really easy. Finally, we're gonna restart for the last time as we face off against Lance. We're gonna start the battle off against him using my Haxwile, which is able to go for a Swords Dance. Does not take a Moonblast. I was not too sure what I was doing there, but was not winning. We go out into my Garswine, which is able to not do anything, which also goes down to the Toga Flame. Are you sure this? I'm not too sure if this is the right attempt. He goes out to his Dewbat, which I go out to my Dragados, which lucky enough I'm able to get a few Dragon Dances off against him as he goes for Hypnosis. This is not a good sign for me. I'm not too sure how this is the attempt I'm gonna win. But lucky enough, we show the power of Dragon Dance. I'm able to get 2 Dragon Dances off and then knock out the Dewbat, which is nice. His next Pokemon will be his Toga Flame, which I'm able to knock out as well. Then he switches out into his Dark Knight, a Darkrai Dragonite. I one-shot with Ice Fang, which is nice. His next Pokemon will be a Septidactyl, which I made the Ice Fang as well. And then his final Pokemon will be his Ace, his Aegimens, which looks very cool. I'm able to survive an Iron Head, get an Ice Fang off against him, and then die to the Rocky Helmet, which is ironic. And then from there, I switch out into my Salad Score. I'm able to get a Swords Dance off and then Dragon Claw to two-shot him somehow. Unfortunately, he's going to Outrage and knock me out, but I do have my Metagon in the back to meter mash and then bullet punch to knock him out, which is the heroic play that we needed. Oh, we have one more Pokemon. His Shandamori, which is Chandelure and Skarmory. I Dragon Rush to get him down to low HP, and then I switch out into my Kingdra, which is able to serve him down and then knock out Lance, as we're able to beat down the 4th Elite Four member, and then we're in face off against our rival next. Our rival, as you can see, is pretty annoying team. We beat down one annoying thing. This is a triple. I'm pretty sure this is a triple fusion, which you can't even do. This is a Infernape, Empoleon, Torterra fusion, which we don't even know that you could do. He switched out into his Arceus Luxray Array. It kills everything because it has Retaliate, which is like 1,000,000 power. So that's fun. That's really fun for us to play against. Anyways, we're gonna restart against him, and then we're gonna face off against him, starting the battle off against him using my King Dragon, which is able to go for a Thunder Wave against a Ninsharp. He's eventually gonna knock me out, but I still get a Thunder Wave off against him, which is nice. I go out into my Metagon next. I'm gonna take this advantage. He gets paralyzed 3 times in a row as I get 3 Dragon Dances off, and I'm like, I'm getting too greedy. I need to knock this thing out. Dragon Rush 2-shots him, and then he's gonna switch out for no reason. He's gonna switch out to his Tortinion, which I'm able to go for 2 Earthquakes to knock him out. He's not super effective to it, but I also survive a close combat, which is very key. I'm able to Earthquake to knock him out. He switches out into his Haxments. I'm able to go for a Dragon Rush to knock him out as well. He then finally switches out into his Chandevile, which I'm able to go for an Earthquake. I don't knock him out. He's gonna knock me out with a Blizzard, which is unfortunate. But I can go out to my Haxwile, which the only time you'll see him do anything, Sucker Punch to knock out the Chandevile, which is nice. And then his next Pokemon will be Array, Arceus Luxray. I'm obviously gonna take the Retaliate, go down with it. But I'm going to go out into my Gardevoir next. I take a Stone Edge. I take a bunch of moves from this thing. 1 Earthquake for my Gardevoir is able to knock him out. His next Pokemon will be his Ryurion. I go for a Crunch looking for a defense drop and then an Earthquake to get him down to low HP. And then switch out into my Salascore. Swords Dance right in front of him as he goes for a Wish. I'm assuming he's going for a Protect, which he doesn't. He's going to go for a Psychic. But I'm able to go for an Acrobatics, one-shot him, which is easy. And then his final Pokemon on his team will be his Ninsharp, which I survive an Iron Head because Gliscor is so tanky. And I'm able to go for an Acrobatics, and Salascore saves the day as we're able to beat down our rival. And we cleared through Pokemon Infinite Fusion Modern Mode on hard difficulty. There we go. We did the right mode, everyone. If you guys do see me trip up on my words, it's hard to pronounce the Pokemon name. A lot of times I do pause in between my commentary to think of the last part of each Pokemon name and then the first part, and then try to combine it in my head. Most of the time I'm wrong. I hope you guys can put up with that. But anyways, it's a pretty fun challenge to do. If you guys want me to do more Infinite Fusion mono type runs, let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Anyways, my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.